well.
I have the right, so I can record it. I can pass the file to you guys later.
Oh, okay, cool. That's being recorded now. Thank you. Excellent, guys. Yeah, so my name is Clint, and I'm the Chief Technical Officer of Tangent. So I'm here today to talk to you guys about the Redeemable NFT Launchpad. So maybe I'll just give a little overview about what Tangent is. So Tangent's a radical NFT project that we're building on Cardano. And really what we're looking at, we're exploring the utility and the function of NFTs within finance and the real world. And basically what I mean by that is the last cycle of growth with NFTs was based a lot on art and speculation, right? But this really is just like the edge of what NFTs can do as a technology. And actually non-fungible tokens have a lot of applications in the real world and in e-commerce and in finance. So these are the type of things that we're exploring in the Tangent project and what we're building with the dApps as well. So the one I'm going to talk to you today about is called the Redeemable NFT Launchpad. So it's a launchpad, and the launchpad is for redeemable NFTs. So I have a presentation I'm going to share. 1 second, guys. Okay. So can you all see that?
Sure.
Perfect. So it's the Redeemable NFT Launchpad. And this was one of our proposals for the F9 Catalyst Fund in dApps, products, integrations, and Project Catalyst proposal. So our problem statement was this: using NFTs to tokenize assets is an exciting new area of NFT utility. However, in Cardano, there exists no dApp that specializes in funding and, most importantly, the process of redeeming such NFTs. So what is our solution to this? We want to create a platform for creators, artists, and enterprises that supports not only the launch and the funding of asset-backed NFTs by the issuer, but also the redeeming of underlying assets by the end user. And we call this the NFT Launchpad, specifically the Redeemable NFT Launchpad by Tangent. So first, you might be asking yourself, what is a redeemable NFT, right? So a redeemable NFT is basically an NFT that's backed by a real world asset. So it's backed one-to-one by a real world asset or item in the real world. And what we do with these NFTs, we want to make a redemption zone. So people, after they finish trading them and playing with the NFT, they can also redeem it in the launchpad and actually get the real world product sent directly to their home, or they can go to the store and they can redeem it in store from the issuer. So basically, what we're looking for right now is we're looking for enterprises. So we're looking for different companies. And basically, when I say an enterprise, I mean an established company, an established business that has a product, they have a brand, they have a customer base, they have a warehouse, they have a supply chain, they have all these things already. And we're looking to these companies, and we want to onboard them onto the Cardano blockchain. And we want to say to them, look, you have a product, you have a brand, we have a platform, and we can tokenize your product and we can sell it as an NFT on the launchpad. And then new customers can get access to your product. And they can also, we already have the infrastructure on Cardano, right? We have the NFT marketplaces, we have the decentralized exchanges. So we have all this pre-existing infrastructure that's going to be compatible with our NFTs. And basically, it's a win-win. For the Cardano users, they get access to some really cool products that can be redeemed in the real world. For the established companies, the businesses out there, they get a new revenue stream, a new market, a new marketing niche for them to sell their products. So the best way I can explain it to you is, I'm sure you've all heard of Groupon. Do you guys know Groupon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so it's like Groupon, but we're doing it with NFTs. So basically we have tokenization and we have fractionalization as well, breaking things up into smaller pieces. But when you think about tokenization, like what things can we tokenize on the blockchain? Everyone always goes straight away to like land, technology, antiques, fine art, gold, mines, real estate. But actually anything can be tokenized on the blockchain. It can be something as simple as like a box of tea, or a can of beer, or a collectible, or even like a mobile phone. It can be anything. So any product that you could normally buy on Groupon, or even a service, we can tokenize it as an NFT and we can sell it on the Launchpad. And let me tell you a little bit more about how that happens.
Just to put you there for a second, Clint, Ricardo had a question. Ricardo, did you want to ask? Fire away.
So the question was answered already, because I was just about to ask about services, but you said already, yeah. There is one case of this car dealer, you know, that is selling a very high-end car and wanted, for example, to give NFTs, for example, for luxury restaurants or something like that to the buyer of the car. So I guess that would be a use case also for this as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a perfect example. I mean, another one what we can do, Ricardo, which is really, really interesting. I think it's very interesting. We can actually tokenize a revenue stream, and we can tokenize a business. So how would we do that? Well, let me give you like a quick example. Say, for example, in Dubai, we buy a yacht together. So we crowdfund the money to buy the yacht. We buy it. We go to a third party, like a company who can manage the yacht for us, and we let them rent out the yacht, right? So now they manage the yacht, they get bookings, they rent it out to people, and it's generating a revenue, right? And then the holders of the NFT can share in that revenue. So, and it's all, you know, hands off. It's the management of the boat, of the yacht, is done by the third party yacht company who are renting it out for us. And then obviously they're giving us the monthly revenue that's generated from that. And then we would give that to the NFT holders according to how many NFTs they hold, how many tokens they hold. So what we've created here is like a new asset. It's a yield generating NFT. And it really is breaking down the barriers here. So, you know, and these things can be redeemed in many ways, right? They can be redeemed, you know, DHL sends you the product directly from the company who issued the NFT, or it could be like a QR code where you have to go to a store in the location where you live, and then they scan it and then you pick up the product. So there's a lot of interesting ideas here. So this is really what we're looking at. So if there's any questions, Ben, just let me know, because I can't see the screen right now. I can't see everybody.
Sure. Just something else while we're on the boat situation, and also something that we haven't quite mentioned yet is the property side of things. Legally wise, we've also looked into that in Dubai, where we're based, and there's possibilities for fractional ownership, absolutely. And another thing to kind of incentivize the owner of the NFTs is that we would allow people who are holders of the NFT to lock their tokens, and then whilst their tokens are locked, they could actually use the boat, for example, for a day when they're in Dubai, or if it's a property, they could block book a week within that year and spend a time in there. We call it a timeshare in the UK. It was very popular many years ago. It's that similar kind of concept.
Yeah, we could do a thing where you stake your tokens for like a week, and then it gives you the ability to book, you know, the yacht for a couple of days. And then when you're in town, you can basically, we'll have a third party company who manage it will take you out on the yacht, and, you know, you have some fun there. So anyway, next slide. So what would the Redeemable NFT Launchpad do? So it's a platform, like I said before, for creators, artists, and organizations, and it will support the marketing and launch of these redeemable NFTs. But it can also support the funding of new projects. I told you a lot before about we're really looking at established businesses first. So companies who are reliable, who have a product and they have a brand and logistics and supply chain, etc. But we could also fund new projects, new companies with this. And basically it's a win-win. The businesses who are backing the NFTs get access to a new revenue channel for the sale of their products via ADA or stablecoin. Users can purchase cool items that they can then redeem for physical items in the real world. And then on top of this, it could also, you know, we could also be tokenizing not even real world items. We can be tokenizing assets in the metaverse too, right? So there's no reason why the asset that's redeemable couldn't be something that's used in the metaverse. I mean, it's a digital product, but still the same concept. So now maybe you're asking yourself, right, how does this actually work, Clint? So let me explain to you how we're planning to do this. So there's 3 steps. In this example, there's a nice lady, her name is Alice, and she comes to the NFT Launchpad. The NFT Launchpad is actually doing a tokenized beer offering. And what they are offering is 6,000 limited edition bottles of non-alcoholic beer. It's limited edition, very special brewed beer. and there's only 6,000 available. So Alice says, I like the idea of this. And she decides to purchase some on the launch pad. It's the first sale ever. And then she uses ADA or stablecoin to buy. And then what does she receive? So she receives 6 bottles of beer because she purchased 6. And these 6 bottles of beer are not actually an NFT. They're not NFTs. They're a fungible token. And then she also receives 1 NFT. The NFT is actually a memorial, like a commemorative NFT, just to say, Alice, you joined the very first sale for the beer offering. You joined the launchpad and you got the beer offering. And it's like just a mark, she was there, she participated. So you might ask yourself, oh, Clint, I thought you said this was the NFT launchpad. Well, in our redemption and our launch, we actually use NFTs and fungible tokens. So we use a mixture of the two. And I'll explain to you why in the next slide. Why are we using a mixture of 2 different types of tokens to do this? So she's receiving, basically she's got 6 bottles of beer as a fungible token from the 6,000. And she's also got 1 NFT that says you participated in the launch. Here's your limited edition NFT. Next slide. So now Alice has these 2 tokens, and for the NFT Launchpad, we're not a marketplace. We don't do any secondary trading. We only do 2 things. We organize the initial launch marketing of the product, and then we also help organize the redemption of the product for the users. So all the secondary trading will be done on the existing infrastructure that's already built, and it's very, very good on Cardano. For example, we have decentralized exchanges like SundaySwap, and we have NFT marketplaces like JPEG.store or CNFT and a NFT maker coming as well. So
just stop you there for a second, Clint. I think Ricardo had his hand up.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have one question. When you're helping the projects to launch, there could be a potential risk that they are saying, yeah, I have 100 bottles of beer, but in fact, they only have like 10.
Yeah. So this is why we're actually looking for established businesses at the begin with. So there'll be companies who have like a recognized brand and a recognized product. And for example, we've just partnered with a multinational company, a multinational drink company. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But yeah, in the future, maybe like with some sort of digital identity or some sort of on-chain verification, we could prove that these are real enterprises who are trustworthy, because we don't want people to abuse the system, right? And another potential solution to that would be if the enterprise who are backing the NFT do not have a good do not have a verifiable reputation, they're not a well-known company, what we could do is we could hold some of the funds raised until a certain percentage of the tokens have been redeemed successfully. And then we release it in stages to the issuer to stop them.
Sign of collateral, right?
Yeah, perfect, exactly. So basically, for the beer token here, it's a fungible token. So why have we made the product token, it's a beer, but product token a fungible token? The reason is so that it can be traded on the decentralized exchange. And we think that will be a better user experience for the users, because on the decentralized exchange, there's more liquidity. We could have made this an NFT as well, and then it could be traded also on the NFT marketplace. It could have been all NFTs. But the problem with that is, NFT marketplaces, they're not always that liquid. So we have 2 different tokens here, and we think this is the best way. This will give the best user experience. So now Alice has her tokens and she can trade them freely as she wants, right? She can trade an NFT on a marketplace. She can trade the product token on a DEX in the liquidity pool. But then say now Alice decides, I want to redeem this product. I want to actually get the real physical item sent to my house. I want to show my friends the drink so I can drink it in front of them. So what happens next? So this is the next stage, and it's the final stage. What happens is Alice comes back to the NFT launchpad, the same launchpad, and she basically goes to the redemption zone, and then she sends us how many beers she wants to redeem. So in this example, it's 6 beers, right? So she sends the 6 beers to the NFT launchpad. We take those 6 beers and we effectively burn them. Now, at the moment, there's no on-chain burning mechanism on Cardano. What we would do is we would take those tokens and we'd lock them up and take them out of supply. And then we'd also have a counter that would show how many have been redeemed and taken out of circulation. But effectively, we take them out of circulation. And then we send Alice a second NFT. The second NFT is a certificate of ownership. Now, this NFT is very important because this one is the proof of authenticity. So this proves that the product is actually genuine and authentic, and it links to a QR code that's on the real product, and it shows that it's not a fake or a copy. And then finally, what we do is we would give Alice's delivery details to the NFT issuer. And the NFT issuer then would then send the product to them by express courier, like DHL. This is the redemption mechanism here. And then basically onto our partner, like I was saying before, we've actually already signed a deal with a multinational drink company. They're called Guilo Beer. They are multinational.
Sorry, just to stop you for a second, Kareem's got his hand up. Kareem, please fire away.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. Maybe just go back to the previous slide. So my question is, if Alice has bought 6 beer tokens and she's got she bought 6 beers, let's say, right? And she got these tokens, why would you need to burn them if these tokens have real value? Why wouldn't they go back to the NFT issuer?
Well, because after she redeems them, this is a limited edition and run of 6,000 beers. So after she redeems them, that's literally, we're taking them out of circulation so they can't be redeemed a second time by anybody.
So how does the beer producer get paid?
The beer producer basically would get their money at this stage, in the first stage here. So when we collect all the ADA, that's the payment. The payments happen there. And then later on here, you know, Alice could actually be redeeming 12 beers. She may have bought more on the secondary marketplace herself from another person who participated in the first sale. And the NFT issuer has already received all their payment here at this stage. So
they're getting paid. They're getting paid in advance, even though they haven't delivered. Okay.
Yeah, they are getting paid in advance. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the delivery has been made with the tokens at this stage, and then the tokens are basically represent a promise for redemption on chain, and then we take them out of circulation so that they can't be redeemed a second time. And then also in the scenario where say for example the NFT issuer, like say this sale sells out, all 6,000 sell out, and then like 25% have been redeemed 6 months later. Some are still in circulation, right? Not everyone wants to redeem. They just want to hold the token for a long period of time, or they want to redeem it at another point in time. What can happen then if the NFT issuer says, oh, that was a great success, you know, it was well received, we have a high redemption rate, we sold out. What could happen next is we could issue like a new product after that, and we could make some new tokens again, would represent another new product, maybe a different beer. Maybe this time it's not non-alcoholic, it's an alcoholic beer, like that. So after the redemption, important point here, I forgot to tell you, after the redemption's been done, what Alice will have is she'll have the 6 bottles of beer in her hand that she has now at home to share with her friends. And then she will have 2 NFTs actually. She'll have the NFT that's a gift commemorating that she joined the launch. She joined the launch pad for the very first sale, the Genesis sale. And then she also has the certificate of ownership, right? And she'll have 1 for each bottle that she's redeemed. So she'd have 6 of those ones. So that's so she'd have a bunch of NFTs there that she'd have for life. And they could also be traded on the secondary market. We can't stop them from doing that. That's part of the free market. So back to the Guilo beer. Yeah, it's a multinational company. They have breweries in UK, USA, Japan, Australia, Hong Kong. Ben, can you share the website in the chat, please?
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
Thank you. And actually their biggest product is non-alcoholic beer. And this is our proof of concept. So we've spoken to the boss of this company. He's very, very into cryptocurrency. He loves Cardano. He loves what we're doing. And he's very excited to be doing this redemption and this first tokenization launch of the beer. And it's going to be a non-alcoholic beer. And the reason we did that was because it's a bit of a headache, actually, doing the logistics and the redemption, the shipping for alcohol. You know, different, some countries, alcohol is restricted. Even in the USA, there's different labeling requirements for alcohol. So it basically would have been a bit of a headache for us to do that first. So the first tokenized Genesis product that we're going to offer, it's a non-alcoholic beer. It's made by this craft brewery called Guilo. They're very reliable. Like I said, they have breweries all around the world, and we've picked the one in the UK to be where this non-alcoholic beer will be brewed and where it will be sent out from. And we're partnering with an express courier called DHL, and or maybe another one. We're still talking to a couple now at the moment about the best deal we can get. And it being non-alcoholic allows us to ship it to pretty much anywhere in the world. You know, we're going to have a long list of countries where you can redeem this. And then sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just jumping in. What are you doing about the shipping costs? How's that? Because I have a product and I struggle with DHL and any other courier.
Yeah, this is an issue, right? So what we had to really think about this a lot, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make it redeemable in groups of 6. So you can't just redeem one can of beer or one bottle. It has to be like 6, so like 6, 12, 18. And then when you redeem the product, there'll be a redemption fee that you pay in the redemption zone. We're trying to get the best deal that we can right now for it. So all those details will be announced like when they're finalized beforehand. But yeah, there'll be like a small redemption fee that you'll have to pay. Yeah, for the most part, we're trying to wrap up the whole shipping cost in the product launch as well. So we're having it in there. But the good news is we are getting all this at cost. You know, Guilo are very, very keen to be doing this, even at a loss, just for the proof of concept to do it. And for them, you know, I think it's quite important. And also for us as a proof of concept, we're really excited about it.
Just going to go to
question.
His hand up. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have a question regarding, let's say, validity date. Imagine they buy the tokens and they wait like 3-4 years and until they start redeeming, and by then the beer might not be good anymore, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can maybe answer this one because we had this same conversation with the gentleman Ian. Fortunately, the alcohol-free version has a sell-by date which is considerably longer than the alcohol version. So for this initial proof of concept run, we're quite fortunate. I think the sell-by date is 2 to 3 years. So yeah, we don't expect for it to be lasting that long anyhow.
But there will be an expiry on the redemption period for sure. Just like when you purchase something on Groupon, usually there's a date on there. Yeah, but that's a really good question. Yeah, this is like part of the the dealing with the redemption side of things. This is like all the headaches we have to look at, and yeah, there will be all this kind of stuff will be made at public when you join the launch pad, when you join this sale.
Which steps are you taking to prevent fraud? In the sense, you know, someone could try to mimic your policy ID or whatever, or make it look as it was the same NFT, but it's not, right? I guess your launchpad will check it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely check it on the launchpad with that side of things, with the policy ID and the fingerprint. And also we'll have a QR code on the actual product, and then a QR code that's embedded in the NFT artwork that you get, which is a certificate of authenticity, and they link up together. And that's how we do that. But yeah, there's nothing that's stopping anyone from trading it on the secondary market. So they're free to trade on the secondary market, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you. And then for the label design, we've partnered with an artist. Ben, would you like to talk a little bit about this?
Maybe I'll jump in for this part. So Quertz is our in-house, if you like, NFT artist. He's a Japanese Bohemian digital artist. We worked with him for quite a while. Actually, maybe I can move out the way. This is one of our Genesis editions. So the second part of our of Tangent is the NFT farming platform, which we've talked about before in different casters programs. And this is one of his Genesis editions, which is obviously Ada Lovelace. And anyhow, Quertz is also going to make 3 to 4 different label designs. And then these label designs will then be passed over to the community, and the community will decide which label they will take a vote, and they will decide which label to be utilized within our proof of concept run. Again, some of the stuff that Quertz puts together is really quite incredible. I've posted his website link in the chat anyhow, if anyone's interested. So that is the last kind of part. You know, Tangent, just to kind of summarize a little bit about the art side of things as well. We are all very keen artists. Something else which we haven't talked about here, we haven't quite finished this slide, but we also have an artistic grants program within Tangent, where we want to give a platform for artists who are emerging to really launch themselves, be it through our NFT launchpad, be it through NFT releases via our platform. So yeah, it's full circle, and again, we will allow the community to take a vote on which artists to fund. Funding could be anything from computer chips to graphics cards to laptops, whatever they can justify that is needed.
One idea we've had is having like a mint party. So we'd say, look, we have 1,000 ADA, and we're going to do this many mints, and then we invite artists to come and they showcase their work. And then if we all approve of it, we'll mint the art for them there with Cardano, like CLI, and do it for them.
Question regarding the potential usage of royalty token at creation of the NFTs for proof of ownership. Have you considered using those? And if so, in which manner?
Yeah, good question. Very good question. Yeah, I think maybe like, could there be like a royal, but you mean like a percentage of the token sale price? Like it's a royalty that keeps going to the artist, right?
Like it could be going to the artist. It could be going, for example, to a charity organization. It could be going. It could be some like an extension of your marketing plan. You know, like the resale of the tokens could be used for a good purpose, right?
Yeah, we have thought about this, and it goes on to my next point. What we've been thinking about is we also want to build a community around each product launch. So, for example, there'll be a Discord server, and there'll be a private server in that chat room where only the people who have these NFTs can go in, and it'll be a place for where the users who participate in the launch can talk to each other and share reviews about the product. And then, obviously, if it's successful launch, then they can also not just share reviews about the product that they bought, but they can submit ideas for the next product. And then we can go back to the issuer and say, this is what they want. For example, with Guilo, they basically said there's some really cool things that they can do on the second drink we're going to brew. For example, we could put gold flake into there. Yeah. We can brew it in like a champagne cask, so it becomes like a whiskey beer champagne. There's some really funky things we can do, and all this we could really put up for democratic vote. But back to your original point about the royalty payment, we could incorporate like a percentage of the resale of the NFTs. It would go into like into a treasury that is basically then managed as in a DAO by the participants who have the NFTs. So basically, it really becomes like a community-led project, you know, and each product has a little community around it who are basically, helping to build and give ideas to the issuer about what to do.
Yeah. Ben and Clint, definitely we should get in touch, because right now or today there was a meeting of one of our guys in the European town hall with one of the largest shops of cars or car sellers, resellers in a European country. And they have a very, very interesting use case for what you do in the services area. So we should get in touch. It could be, maybe the next thing for services. Unfortunately, I have to go, but I'm doing the recording. So I'll just leave it open, and later we can align so I can share with you the data of the video file. Yeah.
Yeah, can we just Ben, can you put the like your email in the chat, so then we can
I will put my email address, then we just get in touch.
Yeah, well, there's mine, whatever's easiest.
Yeah, so
I think now's a good time. You're right. I think a lot of established companies who don't really know anything about cryptocurrency, they've heard of NFTs, right? Now people are really waking up and they're realizing, wow, this is something that is marketable, and it's also can generate revenue. And I think, you know, it's an exciting time to onboard these companies. Yeah. We should be onboarding them into Cardano, right?
Yeah, and you know, it could be also something which is a multi-party, you know, like in the example of that car dealership, you know, the car is the product itself, but the service could be, you know, a restaurant, or 10 of the best restaurants in the Netherlands or in Belgium, yeah. And then you have like a whole set of parties which are participating. So it could be a very exciting way of spreading also, you know, the Cardano adoption.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, and this is one of our obviously major goals as well, to bring the masses over here. So yeah, absolutely. We're just trying to really crack, cross the physical and the digital. A lot of organizations and companies talked about looking for alternative revenue streams, heard of crypto, heard of NFTs, and now we're actually giving them hopefully the platform to try and launch something on there.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, guys, I'll shut up my video and we'll go upstairs. Have a great day.
Thank you, Ricardo. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
We've nearly
Very
finished, guys.
informative.
We've just got a couple more slides left, I believe, and over to you for questions.
Yeah, so the last slide here was just saying, with the project, we're going to give community reporting. So the way we thought about this was we do bi-weekly updates with a video would be recorded by a member of the team, just explaining how the progress has been going, because obviously we're building out this platform at the moment, and we have a GitHub. And then with the GitHub, we make our code open source, not annually, but every few weeks or months. We always, every few weeks, we're putting the code on there, making it open source. And another thing we'd have a Git book with a monthly report, which would give you the progress and things that are happening, new products that are coming, etc. And then finally, we'd have press releases. So yeah, that's it really. Let's open. Maybe we can open up now for some questions.
Sure. Do you want to stop sharing, and then
Yeah.
should be able to see everyone a bit easier?
Yeah, man.
I actually have more than a question. I was just saying to Ben, because I'd spoken to Ben earlier last week, and really glad to have you guys as part of the group here in Dubai, Middle East. I think a lot of people are on from Lebanon, and some are from Europe, but mostly Lebanon and Dubai. But I have a funded project on NFTs right now from Fund 8 that I'm working on, not really related to what you guys are doing, but I had another idea related to a product that I actually sell since. So I'm just going to use you guys as a sounding board and see what you think, because there's a few people on here. It's great too. So basically, I've been making luxury gym bags for about 12 years. I shared the it's on Instagram. I'll share it here.
Yeah.
So what's great about these gym bags is that they're custom made. People go on the platform, they choose the colors they want. They customize, they add a logo, they add their name, and then within 2 days, I manufacture it here in Dubai and deliver it, right?
Wow.
And I've made hundreds of them. And what I found is that they're quite pricey. They're $200 and something, let's say, roughly 800 to 900 dirhams. And what I found is that the biggest community are fitness professionals, because these bags are really tough. They're made from synthetic leather that's used for yachts. Really, really tough. They have a special feature, hence the price. They have an internal partition that's good for sweaty clothes, wet clothes. And this is why I'm an engineer. So I needed to manage my wet clothes, and I just basically made it, and it's evolved, and now it's evolved into a couple of designs. But where the use case for NFTs comes in is this. I work with influencers. I have Celia Gabbiani has over 1 million followers, and she designed a bag, right? And she designed the bag. She was here in Dubai. I delivered the bag to her for free. She promoted the bag. She posted it. She gave me some pictures, and I used those posts. I didn't have to pay her, which is kind, because usually she charges a lot for something like that. And I thought, how about if an influencer, and I have quite a few that I work with, and they contact me for bags and say, give me a bag and I'll post. And I thought, why not use the NFT mechanism instead of the traditional discount code? And I think this should incentivize them to promote it more and give them the certainty that whenever somebody clicks on that design that they've designed, because there's so many iterations of the bag, you could basically lock that design and give them the NFT for it, that anyone that orders that design from that NFT, that they get the royalty right away. And I thought, and I'm thinking, this is a great, if you conceptualize it, if you think about, especially here in Dubai, the relationship between the brands, the agencies, and the influencers, and basically agencies here throw money at influencers. They don't do any KPIs. They don't check posts. They don't see if actually the post delivered much in terms of results. The brands end up getting a big bill, but they don't, they might get a bit of a boost in sales, but they're not sure. And I'm thinking that NFT model where you give an influencer, if they design a product or they create a combination of, say, for example, in fashion, they create an outfit, right, based on 3 or 4 different pieces. You give them the NFT for that, and then they'll be so excited, so proud of it that they would promote that. And then you'd start to get better engagement and better results for the brand. And yeah, I mean, for me with the bags, I don't mind giving an NFT for that design and saying whoever orders that bag, that specific design, because I would actually put the NFT on my Instagram. Yeah, it becomes part of it becomes my catalog, right? It becomes a clickable order that you click on that automatically. It generates an order. You pay for the bag, and the NFT owner gets rewarded.
I think that's a great idea, and it's also a good idea for the influencers as well, because they can get a small percentage of the any sales from that design, that custom design. And then obviously people like to see like, oh wow, this design was made by so and so, right? And then it becomes really attractive to them. And I think it's a really great idea with the royalty payment for that. And also it could be applied to so many different products, right? Like people love sneakers, they love customizable sneakers. I think, was it Adidas or Nike? They were doing like allowing you to customize your own shoes at one point.
All of them do it. All sneakers do it. I think where it gets interesting is that you get that engagement with the influencer, where they're being part of the design process, and they get that. But if you look at discount codes, and I think you guys are more technical than I am, right? To think about how you could allow anyone who clicks on that NFT and orders that specific bag for the designer to get their royalty or their commission, but also any new traffic that comes through, somebody would click but not select that design, they still get some kind of a commission, and automate that. Because right now the discount codes model is prevalent, right? Everyone's using discount codes, but discount codes, it's hard to track. Like, it's easy for me to track, right? But it's hard for the influencer to track how many people clicked on his website and went and ordered using his code. Literally, right now, if you look at all the big podcasters, they have a link, right? So they have the product, they have a link on the website /Tim Ferriss, right? So if you go to that, you claim that discount, the company knows that came through Tim Ferriss, so then they reward Tim Ferriss. But I think if you crack that with the NFT model, you create a whole new mechanism that's much more powerful, transparent, and immediate reward, or what's it called? It's not redemption, it's settlement. So you get the beauty of immediate settlement with the cryptocurrency. So I really think that this would be really interesting in terms of looking at that influencer, brand, and community triangle. There's actually a metaverse project called Metafluence. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't heard of that one. No.
See, I'm so biased for Cardano. Now, anything I see that's going on, I watch, and I'm very skeptical. And all the hype around NFTs, right? A lot of art, a lot going, and there's a lot of speculation, crazy prices, and I'm worried about it, crashing. But I think that if we can incorporate real assets, if you can add value, right? So I'm a digital transformation consultant. I really think about the whole process, and I think that if we can bring that into it, where there's real value being added, then it could be a very solid use case. And I think with Le Gym Bag, it was one of 2 NFT projects I wanted to do. I started with the one that I got funded in Fund 8, and I left that, and I was like, when am I going to do it? And as soon as you mentioned this, I thought maybe through the Tangent Launchpad could be a great way to launch it.
Sure. I mean, I think we certainly need to continue the talks. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying.
No, no, I'm just saying it's a running company. The platform's there. It needs to be improved. The website, the experience is not that great. Where you can actually go online, design the bag. It takes a few minutes. It's not. It hasn't been optimized. I did it on Shopify. The challenge I have is shipping. So I have orders for the bags in the US, and I have to hold them because the cost of shipping is brutal. So right now, DHL gave me, I shipped some bags to Croatia. I shipped 5 to one guy. So I was able to combine the shipment in order to make it affordable. Otherwise, shipping to the US, a bag that weighs a few kilos, and depending on the size of the packaging that I can, because you have to package in a certain way, it becomes almost more than half the price of the bag, prohibitive. So this is where I'm facing a challenge right now. So in Dubai, I deliver the bag, or it's easy to do, but in Abu Dhabi as well. But as soon as you go international, shipping becomes an issue. So that's the challenge I'm facing. But I'm sure with a good packaging consultant and a good contact with the courier, it can be resolved. But I'm thinking for the starting here with the NFTs, lots of influencers here. The fitness community is one that maybe I don't know if you've thought of. I'm very close to them. They're my friends. A lot of trainers and bodybuilders here in Dubai. And a lot of them have my bags. You'll see them on the Instagram. Their stories are there.
Kareem, can you share the website link? I'd like to check it out. It sounds really cool.
It's the same as Instagram. So it's legimbag.com.
You're definitely you're the type of enterprises that we're looking for, who have like an established.
I accept cryptocurrencies as payment through Coinbase, but no through because I use Stripe, but no one's paid with crypto yet. So yeah, we're
well.
Sorry to hog it, but I just thought this is a great use case that could be an interesting one. I didn't expect this, guys. I didn't expect that. These breakout rooms, every time I go to one, it ends up being a pleasant surprise. It's incredible, and I'm glad you guys hosted this one. I didn't even know it was you.
Yeah, no, it was us. I mean, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for established brands that we can trust. This is why we've gone with Guilo initially. Something that we can then cross both of our sides of promotion off, more maybe real world with, say, Guilo beer or Le Gym bag, and then also more the kind of crypto specific. If we can onboard some people from what we call the real world to Cardano and to blockchain, then this is, as we said earlier, one of our goals as well.
There are people. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to tell you a quick story. When I had a retail store, which is where the retail store was called Mon Atelier, and I closed it 7 years ago. I used to sell these gym bags. The first generation was made of linen, and one of my customers was the wife of the director of Louis Vuitton, who bought her husband a gym bag as a birthday gift with his initials. Imagine for the director of Louis Vuitton Middle East. So there's quite a few famous people that have the gym bags gone around the world, but mostly myself carrying it, because
I might
of the
have
shipping.
to get one for my trips to fitness first. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if you shower at the gym, there's no other gym bag that resolves that. What's a really good one, guys, is the yachts. So I have a friend that you get invited on a yacht, and typically, if you're going on a yacht on a charter, you're going to take cases of champagne. I mean, it costs a fortune, right? The guy took a gym bag with the yacht's name on it. The owner threw all the gifts away. Like, he didn't care about all the other big gifts. This $200 gym bag made his week because it had the name of his yacht on it, and it's great for the boat because your wet swimsuit goes in one compartment, your wallet doesn't wet your wallet, your phone, so the yacht one is a great one. Yeah, so gym and yacht, this bag is amazing, and it's the material, the leather is used for yachts, so it's salt proof, scratch proof. My gym bag, I've been using it for years. It still looks new. It's a German it's the most expensive synthetic leather on the market, which also the reason, but the cost comes from labor. It's 8 hours of sewing for one gym bag.
Wow.
8 hours. Yeah. So it's handmade.
Go purchase one now, man.
Crypto.
Oh, wait till the NFT launches so you can get the NFT with it.
Just thinking kind of out loud, Karim. So if it was to obviously be on our launch pad, then the whole customizable part could come at the end when the user redeems the NFT, right? We could almost have a drop-down menu or a box where things could be filled in, right, at that stage.
So I've been thinking obviously about the whole Web3 experience, right? The Web3 user experience is the biggest challenge we have right now as an industry. The creation of the wallet. So for my Yum Chain is my other project that I'm working on, and we can talk about it later, is one of the best things we're doing right now is working on the user experience so that, you know, how do you help the user create a wallet, right? So creating the wallet. So if you look at the user experience and how fast people shop, right, and how fast, what kind of response they want, it's a challenge. But I think so. This is one use case. Let's say is the NFT for influencers, but then it could also be the not royalty but loyalty program. So you buy a gym bag, you get rewarded either an NFT or some ADA that you could reuse for. You could use for credit for a future purchase, or you could give somebody else. So it could be also in the form of an NFT. So loyalty program. So there's a couple of use cases that we need to discuss and see which one to launch with. And I think it has to be at the end, but you can allow them to skip it all there, buy the bag, because people are especially here, very impatient. They just want to order, pay, and be done with it. They don't have time to create a wallet, let alone memorize a phrase or write it down. And so user experience is key.
Yeah, I mean, one of the measures of success we talked about for this project would be, you know, how many new users do we onboard? How many enterprises do we onboard? How many products do we end up tokenizing, you know, after like 6 months, 12 months? You know, I think it's
I mean, legally here, I mean, you guys, I don't know how long you've been in Dubai. I've been here on and off 47 years. You have to just make sure that you dot all the I's for the fractional ownership of yachts and things like that. There is a crypto law, we know, but as if you've known Dubai, they vote things very quickly, but then they don't do so it's a bit of digital sugarcoating, right? So you need to make sure that so as you onboard, obviously here impossible, right? We know living here that alcohol is hard to, you can't trade alcohol, so you have to go to the liquor stores and so forth. So you can't ship it legally and stuff like that. But even, you know, the fractional ownership model of the yacht and things like that. I mean, this is super exciting. The tokenization of real estate is something that I've talked to the ex-director of finance of Dubai, who's a friend from high school, because I grew up here, and he wants to do it, but the land department is not going to have it right now. They're not ready yet. So there's going to be some challenges around legal for here, but again, you don't have to launch it here. You're a global company, you're based here. You could be launching your fractional ownership in Estonia or Croatia or wherever, where the law allows you to. But I think you guys, so when Ben, you know, mentioned NFT art, I thought, okay, another art, but I didn't, now that I know it's a launch pad and what you guys are doing, it's amazing. I'm glad I stumbled upon the breakout room today.
Hey, Kareem, have you seen that, you know, US dollar Tether? Have you seen they tokenized a gold token now, and they have like a gold backed token?
So there's a lot of guys doing gold backed tokens.
Yeah.
I have a friend from Dominican Republic who's a very wealthy guy. He wants to do gold backed token. I personally, anything that, you know, I'm very, very skeptical. So projects that claim, you know, that, you know, so where's your gold held? Is it held by a known, is it Brinks in Switzerland? You know, why am I going to, you know, before I take people's money, you know, like my gym bag, I offer cash on delivery because some people, you know, they don't want to, pay 800 dirhams and then not get something, right? So I think that this is my opinion, right? It's my choice, but I think there's a lot of gimmicks out there. I mean, look what happened to Luna. I mean, it's freaky. It's absolutely freaky. And they bought a yacht, by the way, with borrowed money. If you look at the court documents, the Luna guys or 3AC or whatever, they bought a yacht with money that wasn't theirs. So you have to be very careful what you promote, and because immediately people here tend to kind of immediately go another scam, especially when you're working with real goods. Like for me, the car model, right? There's a guy that was in Fund 8 who didn't get funded, Usama, and he's in Germany. Ricardo probably knows him, and they're developing all the IoT for the cars for future self-driven cars, right? So that they have a crypto wallet, the IoT, and doing all that work using Cardano. And
Internet of Things,
you
yeah.
can think about the market here for cars, right? They buy limited edition cars. I have a friend who has 30 cars here, and you buy limited edition 1 of 20 from the factory. You custom design it. It should come with an NFT, right, from the factory, and that NFT is your proof of certificate of ownership, just like the NFT that you issue for the collectibles. And you could literally sell the car using that NFT, right? As you transfer, you could literally do a crypto transaction to transfer the ownership of the pay for the car if you resell it, and along with that NFT. So I think that there's a lot of use cases here, and there's Dubai is definitely the place to try different ones. But the moment you get into any legal issues, when there's big funds involved, they crack down very hard on anything that's they arrest first and then they ask questions later. So you definitely want to be very careful in anything that involves value, because somebody's unhappy with the deal. Maybe they made a mistake with they sold their NFT without getting paid, and then they come back to you for a claim. So legally, you should definitely be very careful. If somebody loses the money because they're stupid, they could come back and blame you. So definitely watch out for anything to do with big amounts, because people here, kids have, here's 100,000, I want to invest in this, and then then daddy finds out, it becomes it goes to the police. So yeah, there's a lot of money floating around here, but it's not without risk.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, another issue like you touched upon before, Kareem, is also about making it as easy as possible, right? Making the user experience as smooth. This is another thing we have to look into, and for example, going back to the US dollar Terra Gold thing, they have this gold backed token. They have a serial number linked to the gold bar that supposedly is redeemable, but you can only redeem it in Switzerland. You have to literally physically be in Switzerland to get redeemable delivery of the gold. So I mean, how many people are really doing that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but if it's a known company like Brinks or whatever, and you get that certificate, then at least that the value of. So I didn't know that it was in Switzerland, right? But ideally, you're not doing it to redeem the gold. You're doing it to know that the token has some kind of a value. My issue is that, and I'm a fan of Bitcoin and I don't know, not much else, is that the value of the crypto is from the adoption, right? It's the adoption, and trying to hack it, trying to hack it that it's something else, and it's gonna like the hardest money is Bitcoin because of the scarcity.
Yes.
And it's the network and the miners and so forth that maintain that value. And trying to come up with gimmicks and things like that, I don't think is I mean, we don't know, right? Right now, when I talk about blockchain and crypto, we're at the infancy where somebody's come up. It's almost like somebody's come up with a shape that's, if it's round, we can move things around by rolling it, but we know it's going to be a wheel, an air tire, a bicycle, a car, a train. No, we're that far, we're that early, right? In this whole field, and that's why when you sit through these catalyst holes, and people like the guy that was describing the mentor program, I thought I understood what he was doing, and then when he went into the code and the GitHub, I lost him. But I believe that this is what's needed in order to and Charles is somebody that he's my hero, right? So, and I might possibly work with IO. So we don't know, and the amount of innovation that's going to happen is crazy. The open sourcing, I think, is really great. What you Clint, that the fact that you're going to open source, I think you're going to be Charles would be a big fan once he hears of it, because he's trying to convince everyone on Catalyst to open source their work, because he believes that's the real innovation. A lot of people won't do it, right? How do you open source your work? And so the fact that you're going to do it, I think, is and you should try to stick to it. It's really key. It's good. You're going to build a good fan base.
Yeah, I love open source code. I think it's the best, because that's when everyone can audit it, they can improve upon it. And, myself, I've used open source code before to build dApps, etc. And obviously, I could never have done that unless the original person open sourced it to begin with. So, I just feel like making it open source is the best way to give back to the community and enriches everyone's life that way. Life's not a zero sum game. And
You're right.
yeah.
You're right. And I open sourced my ideas, like the NFT influencer thing is I don't own any IP on it or anything, so I shared it with all of you. The gym bag, I mean, again, I tried, I talked to lawyers, how could I patent it? And I there's hundreds of thousands of dollars, the patent, and they won't protect it. But the NFT thing, I think it might be a way. So one of the owners of the gym bag is Karim Habib, who's my engineering classmate, who was chief designer at BMW for 17 years. So I have, when I said I have famous people like and this guy is the world's top designer, car designer. He's designing the new Kias now, and you'll see the cars are just changing like crazy because he left BMW, went to Infiniti, and now Kia. So open source ideas and discuss them openly without fear that somebody's going to take them and run with them. You're just hoping that you build a relationship or somehow, and it's not so easy to steal, because the idea, like I tell the people I mentor and I coach, is that the idea is the easy part, right? It's building the damn thing that's the hard work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Usually there's like a group of people, different people not connected, but they all seem to have the same idea at the same time, and then it's only a few who actually break away and pursue it all the way to the end to
I'm writing the white paper. I'm in the middle of writing the white paper for Young Chain, and it's brutally hard. And, that
it took us months and months and months, but it's worth it eventually.
I mean, I understand your problem with the logistics as well, because I ran an e-commerce store called iboot.com where we sold computer products like USB hubs and power cables. And I also, one of my biggest selling products for many years was USB Bitcoin miners that you could plug into a USB port at home and you could mine Bitcoin at home. And we had bigger ones and things. So I used to do
I have a Bitcoin project. I have a Bitcoin project using gas fields, and I have a few oil and gas guys on it. It's another channel. If you're interested, I'll add you to that.
Oops.
Yeah, please do. That's really cool. I'm very interested in that and about how Bitcoin miners can solve this problem.
Ben has my mobile.
Power plants.
Ben has my mobile, so he could connect us directly.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand your issue about the logistics. The shipping costs of containers like tripled, and it's become insane. I literally my biggest market was America, so I'd send things in bulk there and then have a pack and pick. People send it out there, and that was the best way to make it cheaper. Have big items and then lots of small items all together in the container to bring down the unit cost. But I mean, if the item's customizable, you can't really use that solution to fixing that.
I think it's cheaper to pay somebody to put it in a suitcase. I used to be the director of Mediterranean shipping company in Haiti, so I spent I was a port director as well. So I come from that shipping world, and I can tell you right now, if I want a container from the States to Dubai, no bookings available for the next year.
Yeah, it's an interesting predicament we have ourselves in nowadays. From where it was before, three years ago, everything was running so smoothly, right? It was unbelievable. I don't think we realized how good we had it. I lived in Hong Kong for 26 years, and then obviously China, Hong Kong had a big spat, politically, and there's a big economic fallout too. And people didn't realize, I didn't even know it myself, but America was subsidizing the shipping cost from Hong Kong to America. So I used to pay like 1.5, 1.7 US to send like 100-gram item to, small things to these people. And then they were small, low value items, but because the shipping cost was so low, the margins were profitable for me, and I could, make money doing this. And then later on, I found out USPS is removing the subsidy, and now my shipping cost has tripled, and that it's no longer economically feasible for me to use Hong Kong as a distribution center. I couldn't believe it. People just don't know. They're not informed. Actually, this is how it was working. I couldn't believe how lucky we had it, but this is it.
Shipping is the challenge, and unless you get these rate, I mean, if you buy it, if you don't have the big volume, right? So if you order something from Mr. Porter from the UK, and DHL will deliver it to you, and then if you want to return it, you literally put it back in the box and they swallow the shipping. But I can't do
Yes.
that with gym bags, right?
No,
And anyway, they're custom. So yeah, that's going to solve itself at some point. My hope is maybe one of the big guys comes and says, "Hey, I like your idea. Let me buy your concept," and then it becomes part of Adidas or one of these brands. But
and then they have the economy of scale, right? They have like the different production facilities everywhere, and they can just produce it. You know, in Europe they can produce it in Europe, and if it's in America, they can produce it in America. If it's in Middle East, they can produce it here. Yeah, that's the best way.
Cool, guys. I'm gonna sign off. It was a pleasure. I hope I didn't hog the breakout room for the blue gym bag. But
so much for coming,
Thanks for
Kareem.
being here.
Thank you for joining us.
Ben, let's set up a call. Let me know. I'm flexible next couple of days if you can, just so we can talk through some of the ideas and see how we could try and make it happen on Tangent.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure. Be great to talk.
I think in
Cool,
the future,
guys.
when there's one dominant, or a couple dominant metaverses in Cardano, then making these NFTs being cross-compatible, they can have so many applications as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you can imagine going into the metaverse and designing your own gym bag.
It's so
seeing
cool,
it come together. Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Cheers, Kareem.
Cool, guys.
Thanks,
Cheers.
everyone.
Cheers.
Good to connect.
Thanks for
Thank you.
listening. Cheers.
See you.
I guess maybe we'll call it a wrap there then, guys. For the people who are still left, thank you very much for waiting. Ricardo, I don't think you're there, but thank you so much for recording. And yeah, see you all soon.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Peace out.
Cheers.
If we end it, will the recording end?
No, I think the recording